Hey guys, how's it going? All right, so we got a bit of a shocker today from Ubisoft Mainz in that we have a teaser for the Old Town Pack, the cosmetic DLC 9 coming out very soon, and then something a lot of people were not expecting. However, I've been calling it for quite a while. That's right, Anno 1800 is coming to console. At this point, we don't have an exact date. It is coming early 2023, according to the Devblog. And there is a technical test that they are allowing people to do. You need to either own an Xbox Series XS or a PlayStation 5, and you'll have to sign an NDA. Don't worry, I've signed many NDAs for them. So, yeah, NDAs for them. Basically, just don't talk about whatever it is you experience. So, yeah, so if you have a console, you have one of those two consoles, an Xbox Series XS or a PlayStation 5, then you can sign up for the technical test to play on console. So let's have a chat about Anno 1800 coming to console. So again, like I said, this is something I've been calling for quite a while. Going back to, I believe it was March of this year, I made a little comment about, I wonder if they will jump on the console train. And a very well-known popular modder commented that he thought that it would because of some stuff going on in the engine. And after a bit of research and looking into it, sure enough, they have been doing a lot of back-end work on the framework for the game, changing over a lot of stuff to make it console compatible. A lot of UI work, a lot of changes to the UI on the back end for how the UI is handled, and just a lot of other coding changes that make it compatible for consoles. So it's kind of been, the writing's been on the wall for a lot of us that have been looking into the back end of the game and seeing all the changes they've been making. So what does that mean for the game going forward? Well, obviously, it's going to bring in a new crop of players, most likely. How big of a crop of players? I don't know. I don't know if there's an exactly a big, huge market out there for pseudo city builder logistics games. Because I mean, at the end of the day, guys, this is not a true city builder. Let's not forget that. Let's not kid ourselves here. Anno is not a city builder. Cities Skylines is a city builder. Anno is a logistics resource management game with a bit of city building thrown in for play. And even the developers have agreed to this, that they don't think their game is a true city builder. They have city building elements to it, but the major focus of the game is logistics and resource management. I don't know if there's a huge market for that out there, but, you know, I'm sure that there are going to be some people out there. Now, I did have someone tell me earlier when we were discussing about this, they think that considering that even a small percentage of sales on console version is bigger than the PC player base itself. Essentially, what they are saying is they will sell more copies of Anno on console than they did PC. I just disagree with that. We know that Anno has sold at least 2 million copies in the last 3.75 of a year. Probably around 2.5, maybe 2.75 million copies at this point, somewhere around there. Now, for Anno, that's amazing. You know, 2.5 million copies sold in almost 4 years. That's phenomenal for Anno. In the big scheme of gaming, that's pathetic and abysmal, obviously. But then again, Anno is a niche type of game and only really is interesting to a very niche type of player. A lot of people aren't going to be interested in a game like this. They're going to see it, think it's a city builder, buy it, realize that it requires a lot of math, and they're going to probably put it down because it might not interest them as much. And they might. I honest to God, do not know how returns work on consoles. I am not a console player. I am console ignorant. So if they can return it, they might try to return it. I have no idea how that will work. So they might get some sales out of this. Are they going to get 2.5 million sales out of this? No, they're not. I really doubt it. I really don't see it selling that well. Again, they might recoup their costs because obviously they have had to divert resources internally to do a port from PC to console. So they have had to pull people off of working on the game to create this port. And now they also have diverted resources to it, time, money, and everything else. So they're going to have to recoup those costs, which I'm sure they can recoup the costs. But will the continuing costs justify having to have two teams basically to support the game? You're going to have people supporting the game on console and bug fixing and everything else and doing patches, and on PC. And now I do love the guys over at Ubisoft Mainz. They are phenomenal people. They have been very, very great with me as a content creator. But we all know that their internal testing on bug fixes and patches leaves a bit to be desired. The QA is not what I would call up to par. It's obvious by the number of just horrendous bugs that we get with every patch. Now, they do get around to fixing the majority of them. There are still bugs that have been plaguing the game for several years now that have not been fixed. I'm looking at you, Train AI on Crown Falls. So, now we have a system where we have two completely different platforms that the game has to be fixed and patched for both systems. That could possibly, I'm not saying it will, but there is the possibility that that could delay patches, cause problems, and everything else. So it's definitely a risky move on their part to try to throw all of this out and see if it sticks, basically. We do know that the game has supported itself for at least 3 seasons. The initial release plus 3 seasons of content. Season 4 was most likely only developed because of the grant from the German government that they got earlier this year. Without that, I doubt we would have had a Season 4. So that's telling me that the game has kind of taken a downturn, and Ubisoft as a parent company is not greenlighting new content. And this is kind of their Hail Mary. Well, let's try to see if we can get it on console and make some money from that, and maybe try to support the game a little bit longer, which might mean we might get a Season 5. God, please no. So, Anno's coming to console in 2023. We don't know exactly what it's going to look like. We don't know what all content will be available with it. I'm guessing it's going to be all of it. Maybe yes, maybe no. I'm not sure. What are your thoughts? Let me know down below what you think is going to be coming with the console edition. Will you be, if you have a console and you already have it on PC, will you buy it as well on console? And if you are, then, you know, I'm actually curious about that. Why would you buy a game that you already have on one platform on another? That's an interesting thing I would like to hear from you guys. So that is it from me. We have the console edition technical test. The link for that is going to be down below in the description if you want to sign up for that. And until the next video, take care, guys.